Hello and all, welcome to the Galaxy Man Show. I am here with this incredible artist known by the name of Taynee Lord, who I'm about to add into the live now, and have a chat with Taynee Lord about her sensational music that she's performed. So yeah, let's add Taynee in and have a chat with Taynee. Hello,
Hello.
how
Can
are
you see?
you?
Hello. Hi.
There you are. How are
Can you
you?
see me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Oh, great. Sorry, I'm just gonna turn you up
Yeah.
there. Great.
Awesome. Well, it's a pleasure having you on the show for tonight, Tane. Um, to people that don't know who you are, if you give like a bit of backstory about yourself, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Taynee Lord. I'm from the UK, Bristol in the southwest of England. I have a band called Taynee Lord and the Crooks, and we are a country music band that perform original songs, and I write the songs. That's the spiel, really.
Awesome. So we'll dive right into the questions now. So for my very first question, you've actually created really incredible original songs, and for the first original song I'm going to mention is "Boy with It with the Eyes." What was it like getting to create this one, and what's the meaning behind this song that you created?
Yes, so Boy with the Eyes, I wrote a really long time ago now. Probably like 7 years ago, quite a while. And we recorded it actually in 2020. So we've been sitting on this song for quite a while. And there was a point where we were like, oh, shall we even release it anymore? Just because we'd had it for so long. But we had it, and we put a lot of work into it, so we decided to release it, and we're glad that we did, because the response has been great so far. But yeah, I tend to write a lot of songs about real life experiences, so either things that have happened to me or things that have happened to people that I know. And Boy with the Eyes is kind of like my teenage diary entry type of thing. Yeah, it's all about how I fell for my teenage boyfriend whilst dancing together on a night out. Yeah, so that's kind of the backstory behind the song.
So on to our next question. So with the next song I'm going to mention is "Love Moves Like a Train." What was it like getting to create this song, and what's the meaning behind this one?
So yeah, Love Moves Like a Train was a really fun one to record, because it wasn't really anything like we put out before. It's kind of got a sultry feel to it, even though it's quite chill. And I love slide guitar, and it was great fun to do all the harmonies on it, which was really good fun to be able to record. But yeah, Love Moves Like a Train. It's all about a love that you didn't know how good you had it till it was gone. So that's kind of the meaning behind the story of Love Moves Like a Train. And I feel like with country music, it's so lovely that lots of the songs, tell a story from beginning to end, and you kind of see how the story grows throughout the song, which is one of like the main things I love about country music.
On to our next question. So you have also created an original song called "I Don't Want Flowers." What was it like coming up with the idea of creating this one, and what's the meaning behind this one?
Yes, so I Don't Want Flowers, I think, is, for me, was a personal story. So it was quite a funny one to create. And when I first brought the idea and, well, this song to my band, to the boys, they were like, Taynee, I think that's a bit savage, like the lyrics to the song. Like, are you sure you wanna put that one out? And they were like, maybe it's a bit harsh. But basically, I Don't Want Flowers is about a true story, that one day I just came home to this massive flower delivery, and I had no idea who they were from. But when I opened the card and I saw the name, I was just slightly disappointed at who they were from. And so the song is kind of about me letting that person down, gently, but like, wishing that they were from someone else.
That's already next question. So with the next one I'm going to mention is "Bet on You." Like, what was it like creating this one, and what's the meaning behind this song?
Yes, so Bet on You is kind of about the dating phrase, they don't want you, but they don't want anyone else to have you either. That kind of back and forth that you can have sometimes with someone that just when you start to move on from them, you're finally like, nope, I'm done. This is the end. They kind of can sense that and they come crawling back. And you can even bet on it. You just know that they're going to do it because they're so predictable. So that's kind of the story behind Bet on You.
That's our very next question. So, No God of Mine, what was it like creating No God of Mine, which is another fantastic song that people should definitely go and listen to? What was it like getting to recreate this one, and what's the meaning behind this one?
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, No God of Mine is one of my favorites in terms of this one again is like really different to anything that we put out. This one is quite sultry, but it's almost got that like bluesy feel to it. It's a lot like meteor in a way. It's got some good instrumentation going on in it, which I love. But yeah, No God of Mine was kind of came about because me and my best friend were sat down one day and we realized that all of our past like failed relationships, all of those people shared the same zodiac sign. And we were like, what's going on? That's kind of crazy that all of these people have got the same zodiac signs. And when we started sitting down and we were talking about it, we realized they all kind of had same personality traits. And this blew our minds. And I was like, this is kind of strange. Like all of these guys were very good talkers and they told you what you wanted to hear and they were just quite charming with their words. But without wanting to offend anyone, I used the Greek god Zeus in the song for like the symbol, because apparently he was quite the charmer with the ladies' man. So that's why he's referenced in there. But yeah, it was just one of those songs that was an idea that I think everyone kind of knows someone who's thinks they're God's gift. So that's where No God of Mine came from.
That's our very next question. So, what made you decide as a person and like especially as an artist to get into singing in the first place?
Oh, I always loved to sing. Like my parents would say I could sing before I could even walk. Like all of my friends around the same age when we were all little, they were all running around the place and I couldn't even crawl, but I could sit there and sing, but they couldn't talk yet. So it was like the reverse thing. They always knew. They were like, no, you're always gonna sing. And I loved it when I was younger. I just begged them. I was like, can I have singing lessons or anything or go to stage school? And they were like, not until you're older. They wanted to make sure it was something that I really wanted to do. But I used to sit on the stairs in my house and like sing to all my family and make performances from like a really, really small age. So I just think I always had that like creative thing inside me. I couldn't really get away with doing anything else.
That's our very next question. So, onto that, like, what does performing music like mean to you, like especially as an artist?
Oh, performing music means everything to me. I love it so much. I think the performing live is my favorite thing out of everything. There really is like no better buzz for me in the world than being on a stage and performing in front of people and getting to see their reactions. I really love it when you can actually see the audience, when the house lights aren't too bright or anything. But yeah, it's amazing. And I think that buzz that you get from it, unless you're a performer, like no one's truly gonna know what that feels like. It's like falling in love in like a really cliche way, but there's like no other stronger feeling for me than like being on stage. I love it so much.
That's our very next question. So, if you could take the music anywhere, any place in the world, like, where would you want to take the music to and why?
That's a good question. I think the most cliche thing for me to say because of country music is to go to America. That would be incredible. That would be amazing. But there's again the aspect of like there's so many people doing and performing amazing country music in America that maybe you just get swamped amongst all of that because there's just so many incredible artists here in the UK. Country music's a bit more up and coming over the past few years, which is great, which I'm sure in like New Zealand and America, New Zealand and Australia, you guys like would love country music there. I've got some family in New Zealand, so maybe I'll say New Zealand because I've never been and I'd love to perform in New Zealand, I think.
I actually love how you said New Zealand. If you ever want the chance to be on an incredible show, there's this incredible actress. She used to be in a show, a New Zealand show called The Tribe back in the day. I don't know if you've heard of it. Her name's Meryl Cassie, and she actually does a live like interview type show, and she supports artists like yourself, and she's doing such an incredible job with her like live interview show and stuff. And yeah, she would, I guarantee she would love to have you on her show if you would love the chance to be on her show, if I can ask Meryl for you.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. That sounds fantastic.
You're all good. So, on to my very next question. So, if you could work with any top three music artists in the music industry, like who would you like vibe with the most that you feel that you could would connect to that you would want to work with?
Oh, I'm really hard at picking, like really bad at picking favorites. I'm always like, someone's like, what's your favorite movie or something? I'm like, no, don't ask me that. I'm really bad at decision making. Like, no. But I think I have to say Dolly Parton as number one, because Dolly Parton was like the woman who got me into country music. And yeah, she was like probably my first love, my first obsession was Dolly Parton. So I loved her from such a young age. And she was the first person I ever saw in concert, was Dolly Parton. So yeah, definitely Dolly. I think she's so talented. She's written a million songs. And I think I could just be able to like learn so much from her. She's just incredible. Three. And then I'd say, I love Mara Morris as well. She's a country artist from Texas, I believe. But yeah, I love all of her music. I love her lyrics and her vibe. I think she's got an amazing like raw sound, but it's still a produced, album and is still produced, but she's got like that rawness to her voice and the way that she writes, which I really, really love. So definitely Mara Morris. And I have a really like obscure taste in music. Like I love country music and I probably listen to the majority of country music, but I love rock music as well. I don't know if you know a band called Royal Blood. Have you
I've
heard of them?
heard of the name, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're from the UK, they're from Brighton. They're like a rock duo, so it's just bass and drums. And I love that their sound is so big and massive. And I think I'd love to work with them. That would be amazing, just because the way that I love a good, like guitar solo or that good bass sound. So yeah, I think I'd have to say them, those three.
So, on to my very next question. So, what would be your like all-time favorite cover song to perform and why?
Ooh. Um, Covers. We don't do many covers like when we perform live because we've got so much original music now. We do like the majority of original music, but we do like to throw in some covers sometimes. We do this actually. This question's really hard. We do this really cool cover of Jolene,
Okay.
and I've never really heard anyone do it kind of like the way we do it. We've made it really slow and a bit swampy. And I think Jolene is one of the most covered songs of all time. So it would be probably a bad choice to say Jolene. But we've changed it around so much. I've never heard it done like that. It's just very moody and it's got a completely different feel to it. And I think Jolene's one of those songs that everyone wished that they wrote, It's like everyone, it's such an incredible song and like the story behind it is amazing. So yeah, I'd probably say Jolene.
So, on to my very next question. So, if like Taynee could like talk to her younger self now, like what would you say to your younger self? Like any advice that you would like say to your younger self, like looking back over your time in the music industry? Like, yeah, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh, I think I'd just say just go for it. Like everything that you want to do, just go for it. And you need to go with your gut and go with your heart and don't don't let people try and sway your opinion of what you think is right and wrong. Like you stayed true to what you believe and you do like what you want to do. So I think that's what I would say.
On to the very next question. So on to the advice part. So any upcoming artists that want to get into the music industry, like what advice would you give them and why?
I think I'd say almost the same advice as what I would tell my younger self, just because, and the pure fact of just do it, just go for it. Like if you want to do something, just go for it. The only person that can get in your way is like yourself. There's so, as an artist, there's so much like self-doubt that you have sometimes. I mean, maybe not everyone has this, but lots of creative people, I'm sure, have like a lot of self-doubt. So I think I would say, just try and push that to the side and just really truly do what you want to do. And yeah, just that's the way that you're going to be the most proud of your work, is if you stay true to yourself and get to do what, yeah, your own ideas and what you want to do.
So on to the very next question. So what are the positive and negative sides into creating your own music in the industry? And how do you get through those like negative moments as an artist?
Yeah, I think again, like what I said about the self-doubt thing, I think that's one of the most like negative things about being like uh indie like artist, is yeah, trying to do everything themselves and that type of scenario. Because if you don't do it, no one's going to do it for you. You have to believe in yourself. And I think you, a lot of the time, you can maybe look at other people and think, oh, well, maybe I should be doing more, or I should be trying to be creative all the time. And sometimes you get to these like roadblocks, which I think is like a writer's block, I guess, like a creative block, which is, yeah, I think the one of like the hardest things is the self-motivation of thinking, well, I need to do this because you're not working for anyone else, you're working for yourself. So if you don't do it, then no one else is going to do it for you. But yeah, I think like the positives of it is just getting to hear feedback, like amazing feedback when people do love your songs. There's nothing better than seeing someone in the audience sing the lyrics to your songs is the best feeling in the world. Like it's just, yeah, you're thinking, well, it's like that people are liking what you're putting out, and that all your hard work is getting projected in a positive way, which is good.
That's a very last question. So, like, what's next for you for the rest of 2022? Like, any upcoming new music projects that you would like to announce, and anything planned for 2023 onwards?
Yes, definitely. So um in really, really soon, like this month, we are going into the recording studio, which I'm really excited for, because like I said before, our last song that we just put out, we recorded in 2020. So it's been a long time since we've like recorded new music for us. Like for everyone else, the stuff's new, but I'm bored of this song now. I've been listening to it for 2 years, nearly 3 years. So yeah, it'd be amazing that we've written so much new music to just go into the studio and be able to record that is really exciting. And then for um more people on my side of the pond, we've got festivals coming up for 2023, which is really, really exciting. And yeah, just hopefully lots of gigs for the summer, which would be great.
Any last final thoughts that you would like to share to people on the show?
Just thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And what you're doing for artists is amazing, trying to spread the word. And we just appreciate that so much, the kind words that you wrote to me on Instagram. And I'm just, yeah, really appreciative. So thank you so much.